First 4 Days podcast. I'm Heather, and I'm going to have two special guests with me today that are going to be telling a little bit about their journey in recovery and a little bit of their testimony. So I'm going to have Billie and Brandon. They've been with me for a while, and they are awesome. So proud of them. And I'm just going to let y'all talk to them and kind of see what they've been going through and what they've been having going on in their lives. And I hope y'all enjoy it. All right, y'all want to introduce yourselves?
Sure. I'm Brandon. I have right at a little over 3 years clean, I believe.
That's awesome.
Been coming to Clinic 5 for pretty much all 3 of the years. Yeah, that's
3 years is a long time. Like, I don't think people realize how long that amount of time is. Like, they say 1 day at a time. They mean that. Like, 3 days of staying clean after you've not been clean is a lifetime.
That's
3 years is astronomical.
Yes, ma'am.
Like, that's something to be super proud of.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. My name is Billie, and I've been clean the exact same amount of time. I started my sobriety journey in 2020 and had a little fall off the wagon there for a couple months, and then when we got together, we actively decided to stop and to do something different.
So y'all's time is the exact amount of time, the same amount of time?
Yes.
That's awesome too.
Yes, ma'am.
And I was just talking to a couple earlier saying that a lot of people discourage people that have been addicts or in active addiction to like try to be together because they think that it's going to make them, you know, fall off the wagon or pull in a bad direction. But if anything, I've seen so many success stories with couples because they can relate, and when they make that decision, like, okay, we're gonna kick this, we're gonna do it together. You have each other to lean on.
That's right.
Yeah.
We have an accountability partner at all times. Yes, ma'am.
So that's awesome. Well, like I said, super proud of y'all. That is a very long time. I don't care what anybody says. That is a very long time.
Thank you.
Can you describe like a turning point or a moment that made you realize you needed to change? Like when you really thought, I need this to not be my life anymore. Like I need to go on a different journey. I want to do recovery. What was that point for you?
That point for me was when I got hit by a car, walking down 78, and ended up going to jail. I was intoxicated, obviously. Ended up going to jail and had a really bad time, was hallucinating in jail, tried to make phone calls, was calling all kinds of people. It was a horrible, horrible thing. And then my mother took me to her house to get clean. And when I woke up after a couple of days and like really came to, I realized that, you know, I've been looking for an excuse to get clean. I just didn't know how.
Yeah.
And that was my point.
That's what it was.
Yes, definitely. Because I had a friend that passed away a couple of years ago that got hit by a car. And then I got hit by a car, and I was like, man, if I don't stop,
And that's crazy too, because that, like, obviously I know that happens, but that's not like a common thing to happen, to be hit by a car.
No.
And you had 2 experiences with that, one with a friend and then yourself.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a coincidence.
No. And I didn't take it as a coincidence. I definitely took it as a sign that something had to change. I needed to change.
Well, that's a story to tell,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
So what about you, Brandon? What was that turning point for you where you knew that it was time to make a change?
The first time that I came to that conclusion, I had been using on and off for 10 years or better. I had finally started, making the decision to get away from some of it, and was using gas station drugs, if anybody knows what that is.
Mm-hmm.
And thought that I was doing a really good job of hiding it, and thought that I was master of disguise, so to speak. And I woke up one day sick as a dog, and my dad looked at me. I was sitting in the recliner at our house. My dad looked at me and was like, "Man, we see this, right? You need to do something." And he told me that he would rather watch me get help than to put me in the ground. He told me that he didn't want to experience burying his son. And I don't know, man. I'd heard a lot of things before that like hit home really hard, but that was a lot. That's still a lot. And a family member at the time was on Suboxone, and my dad was like, "Do you think you can make it 24 hours?" And I was like, "Yeah, I know I can." I was just tired. I was. It's cliche to say in recovery, or it is a cliche in recovery, but it's so true, man. I was sick and tired of waking up sick and tired every day. And I sat for what felt like the longest 24 hours of my life, man. And
But you did.
I did. And 2 days later, I came up here for my very first appointment. And I had some fallbacks here and there, but wound up coming back up here. And then in the midst of coming back, she came with me, and we've been here ever since, and been doing good ever since.
And I want, and y'all can vouch for me on this, I want everyone watching, everyone listening to understand that relapse is part of recovery.
Absolutely.
Now, once you get so much time in, you may stay clean from then on.
Yes, ma'am.
But it is not just a huge failure or uncommon for someone to have relapse in their recovery process. It's part of it. We always say relapse is part of recovery. It usually does happen. That does not mean that you're going to fall off that wagon, that you cannot get back where you need to be.
That's right.
We see it every day. And then, like for your case, you had a little mishap, you came back and were good, and I don't think we've had a mishap since.
No, ma'am.
So, I mean, it is possible that if you have that one mess up, or that, 2 or 3 mess ups, that doesn't have to discourage people to think, I knew I couldn't do it. I'm a failure.
Yes.
I knew I couldn't get clean and stay clean. Or for other people to think that about you.
That's right.
I knew you couldn't do it. I knew you couldn't stay clean, because just because you have a relapse like that does not mean that's going to be forever.
Yeah, end all be all.
Yes.
That's right.
And also going back to you saying that really hit home with you, what your dad said. How much more can y'all relate to that phrase now that y'all are parents?
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think about that all the time.
So you kind of get, our parents drive us so crazy when, we're like, I know what I'm doing, we think we know everything. We think our parents are stupid. And then we have children and we're like, now I get it.
Yes.
Now I get
Yes,
it. Now
ma'am.
I get why they were hard on me, or now I get why they, said these things or did these things. It's out of fear of your child getting hurt, your child, making the mistakes that we made. And I know I've seen y'all be wonderful parents. I've been through the whole journey with y'all.
Yes.
And I know as good of parents as I've seen y'all be, I know that phrase makes so much more sense. I mean, it made sense to you when you got told that by your dad.
Yes, ma'am.
But now, as a dad,
Yeah.
It's different.
So different.
and you would never want to have to say that to your child. So
No.
now I know it probably hits home so much more.
Yes, ma'am.
And I know you totally get it.
Yes.
Even though you did then, obviously.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a different feeling once you have a child, a kid of your own. For
so
sure.
different. Yes.
Yes.
Well, super proud of y'all.
Thank you.
I am. I can't tell y'all that enough. So focusing on like present and future things. How has your life changed since starting recovery? What has been different from before when you were in active addiction and having issues to now?
Everything is different. Like, we have a home, we have careers, we have a life, we have a daughter. Everything is different. We're not sitting in parking lots for hours at a time. We talk about that all the time. Like, I'm so happy we're not sitting in a parking lot.
Lives in parking lots.
Yes,
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 hours out of the day in a parking lot. Like, it's
Oh,
yeah,
man.
it's so different. It's so much better. It's so much better.
Absolutely.
I know that everybody says like being in recovery is hard. Like you have to work at it, you have to want it every single day. But
When you think back,
you gotta also think too, like it may be something that you have to battle in your mind. Like I wanna wake up today and continue the life I've been having. That's great and wonderful. And it's easy when things are great.
yes,
That's right.
It's easy to not do great when things are terrible.
very
I mean,
true.
a lot of people I don't think understand that a lot of time that people use and they are ready to get better, they're ashamed to admit or ask for help sometimes. Also, when you get clean at the very beginning, that's when all that guilt and shame hits from everything you did while you're in active addiction.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And you don't want to feel that. A lot of times when you're using, that numbs the pain, makes things go away. You don't want to think about it. But when you have good things to think about, when you think about, like y'all said, the parking lot for 5 hours a day, and now y'all can chill at home on your couch and watch TV or
Yeah,
play with your
Play
baby,
bug. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
like that's the easy thing now.
yes,
Wow.
that is definitely the easy thing now.
And I can always think to myself, we've talked about this so much, man. Even on the worst days now, it will never be as bad as it was at times in
Yeah,
active
very
addiction.
true.
On the hardest, worst, I don't want to do this days, it will never be as bad as it was in active addiction. And going back to the relapse thing, that was one of the reasons that when I first started coming here, that I had my little mess up and stopped coming, was I was so ashamed of myself that I had relapsed and had painted this picture in my head that if I came up here with something in my system, that it was going to be this big, huge, oh, you screwed up, whatever. And when I finally got all my stuff together and came back and told everybody what had happened, everybody up here was like, why didn't you just come back? Why didn't you just come talk to us and tell us what had happened? And, I don't know, it just made me realize that sometimes you paint a picture in your head and, it's never as bad as you think it's going to be.
Right. Especially if you have a team of people, a group of people, family, whoever that truly want what's best for you and care about you, they're not going to judge you based off one mess up.
Yes,
Like, I know a lot of people have a stigma behind like a clinic or medicated assisted therapy, and I feel like that's why we have really, really tried to show and let the public know and our patients, like, we don't want to be like a regular doctor's office. We don't want to just get you in here and round you up like cattle and throw you out the door.
Yeah,
Like, we all have some sort of connection or relation to addiction in some way, and all we really want and all our goal is for y'all to do good. Like, we want y'all to do good. My daughter even said on the podcast that she feels like I started this journey because I felt like a failure that I couldn't fix her dad. So it makes
That would
me,
make sense.
so she's like, I think it makes her feel better to know that she can help other people. Like she didn't succeed and couldn't help him, but she gets that healing from knowing she can help other people. And I've said it's a blessing and a curse, but I am a fixer.
Yes,
Like
ma'am.
I want to fix things, even
Yes.
if I'm not fixing them for myself.
Yes.
But I've been such a huge advocate on the reason I work here. I went to school for this. Like, this is what I wanted to do. And, like, I don't care if you mess up or how you mess up or why you messed up. All I care about is let's get you back on the right track.
Yes, ma'am.
That's really all I want and all I care about. I know y'all been with me for a long time, and I know we have some newer people here, but I know as long as y'all been with me, you know that that's the goal at Clinic 5.
Yes.
ma'am.
That, I mean, everybody here is all wanting the same thing, y'all and us included,
Yes, ma'am.
and the doctors. Like, our doctors are awesome.
And I mean, if you do relapse, we're already gonna beat ourselves up.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we don't need everyone else beating us up too. And you
Mhm.
guys, you know, you've never done that.
Yeah.
I don't see you ever doing
That is not our goal. Our
Yes.
goal is just, try to find out if we know why it happened, try to avoid that happening again.
Yeah. What steps we can take
Yeah.
to ensure that doesn't come to that point again.
Exactly.
Yes, ma'am.
But, and I mean, I think we do a great job here, but like, don't give
Yes.
us the credit because y'all do the work. We're just here kind of scooting along with y'all, but y'all
Yeah.
actually do the work.
But you're the support system.
That's right.
Yeah, we
Yes.
are. Oh, definitely. I mean, we tell people all the time, like, you're having a bad day, call up here. People call up here all the time and just, I don't have an appointment today or next week, but this is what I'm dealing with. We'll talk to you. If we can talk you off the ledge, absolutely, we're gonna do it.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And I feel like that is what makes us different.
Yes, ma'am.
What would y'all say to somebody if they were considering, wanting to get clean? Would y'all suggest a clinic and doing some sort of medication, or just whatever that journey may be for them, or what would be y'all's advice?
I have suggested quite a few people to come here, to be 100% honest with you. As far as like other clinics or other medically assisted treatment programs, I can't speak for them because this is the only one I've ever been associated with.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm forever grateful for that because even coming up here, my very first appointment, the first time I came up here, I was so scared. I was terrified to walk through that door because not only was, walking through that door a new experience, but I had already admitted to myself at that point that I had a problem and was already trying to process that
Mm-hmm.
in my recovery. And, now I'm walking through the door of a clinic, A, all the stigma behind it, B, I'm about to go in here and talk to all of these people that I don't know about my life and all the problems that I have and, my active addiction, which I already didn't want to discuss anyway. But man, everybody that I've suggested to try assisted treatment programs, I have told them, man, you will never walk through the door of somewhere and feel as welcomed as I did when I first started up here. That was what made me continue and made me start coming back. That's what made me try to get her up here. I was terrified. I cannot stress that enough. I was terrified to walk through those doors. And the second that I did, it was like every piece of every idea I had about it was blown into a million pieces. I was like, man, that was not what I expected at all. Yes, ma'am.
Was it that way for you?
Yes, but also I had a little clarification from him
Right.
beforehand. So, like, I was getting Suboxone from wherever I could, and then when he was here, he was like, well, why don't you just go up there with me? Like, it would be great. Like, well, yeah, I should. That's way more on the right track of where I want to be, not still doing something that felt wrong.
Right.
Like, I was still...
You were doing it for the right reasons, but it wasn't the right
Yeah.
route of
Yes.
how to do it.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So, when I came up here, it was just good. It was just.
See, she had you to go ahead and prep her.
Yes.
Say, it's gonna be great.
Yes.
They're nice there. You
Yes.
didn't have that.
Yes,
So
exactly.
she got the good end of it.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
I definitely did. Definitely had his clarification. I'm like, yeah, you need to come in with me.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. And it's been great ever since.
Well, I'm so glad. Is there anything else that y'all want to say or feel led to say to anybody that's watching or anything?
Don't be afraid to ask for help. It's
That's important.
not as big of a deal as you're making it in your head. Just ask for the help. Come up here, make an appointment, do what you have to do to get in the door, because the outcome on the other side of anything that you're going through in active addiction, the other side of it is the most beautiful thing that you will ever experience, man. It is so different waking up every day, not wondering where I'm gonna find money to eat, let alone to fuel my active addiction. And that in and of itself is the biggest thing for me. Is the biggest bonus of all of this, is not waking up sick, wondering how I'm gonna fix being sick. You know, like she said earlier, man, we have a house, we have cars, we have the most beautiful daughter in the world, and we wouldn't have any of that without this program. 110%.
The stability
Yeah.
is enough on its own.
Absolutely.
There's no chaos. There's no rushing, calling, trying to find whatever. It just is. Does it get routine and boring sometimes? Yeah, but then you just have to find something fun to go do.
Right.
Something actually fun.
Yeah.
Not that. Find a different dopamine rush.
Right. Well, y'all did that. Y'all did that work. Y'all got there. We didn't do that for y'all. Y'all did it.
Yes.
I'm super proud of y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And if y'all ever want to come back on the podcast, like I said, if there's anything new, exciting, or if y'all just want to catch up with everybody, y'all are more than welcome. I really appreciate y'all coming on. I think
Yes.
anybody that comes on here, I feel like will touch somebody, whether it's one person or it's 21,000 people.
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone that comes on here and talks, I think will touch somebody's life for sure.
Yes.
So like I said, thank y'all so much. I appreciate it.
We appreciate
Of course,
y'all.
yes, thank
ma'am.
you.
And we will see y'all next time.
Yes.